Alright guys, so welcome back. So it's been too long. So this is going to be Zaccaria Pack 7 review. And like I said, it's been quite a while. I did the first 6 pretty quickly and then kind of trailed off a little bit. We've had some new releases and I've been working on other things. So we're going to come back and finish up, we're going to try to knock out some more of these Zaccaria titles and start getting finished up. Alright, so today we're starting on Pack 7, and the same rules apply as if you've been watching the series. We're going to cover each one of these titles individually. We're going to do a couple balls for each one. We're going to give a rating to them individually and give a rating at the end. So none of these will be rated against each other. It'll always be tier against tier. So if we're looking at the 2018 titles, the remakes, we're going to review them against the other remakes. If we're reviewing a retro title, we're going to go against other retro titles that we've played thus far. Okay? These award tables are kind of in the category all their own, and they're kind of set to like a different standard, so we're just going to leave those as is. Okay? Let's get started. So this one is Locomotion. Let's turn this up so you can actually hear the darn thing. Alright, so this table, pretty different. But we've seen quite a few of these different titles. This is like a solid state type of title. Give it a whirl. Very punchy, good sound effects. Doesn't sound like a locomotive necessarily, but I assume we're going to get some more of that. Plays really good. Sound effects are good. Okay, that's pretty good. You got kind of a sound effect there going. First station. Now we should drop to the second station, maybe? No. So we got a clue to do something there. We're going to have to hit some targets, looks like, to be able to hit... Oh, I see. We got some targets on the right here. So we're going to have to hit letter B on the right-hand side, looks like, to be able to go to the second station. So that's pretty cool. You got kind of a progression of sorts. Now I should be able to go to second station. With any luck? No, it still kicks out. So we gotta figure out what we gotta do, but this one actually has some story elements to it too. I didn't expect that. It's kind of good. It's not just a click everything and hit everything that's shiny kind of a thing. So we're gonna go here. We're gonna try to get this ball to this flipper. Hit the C button. It says we can go to the second and third station, but we're gonna do something to get to the second on the left-hand side here. So I'm a little curious to see what that's about. Kind of interesting. Something's keeping us from going to that second one, but it's pretty cool. I like that there's some active elements here that are in play. Still kicks us out. Interesting. Well, I'm intrigued. This type of thing actually makes me want to play. Okay, so now whatever I did, I hit the bumpers enough. I've hit the stuff, and now it appears that I can go to first, second, and third stations. And I can actually complete this. So let's see if I can't throw this ball up there. I gotta hit the shot though. Luckily I can dead flip over here. Station 1. Station 2. Station 3. Advanced Special. Oh, that's pretty cool. So that is a pretty cool little element for this game. I actually really like that. That's something unique, something different. Okay, so if I had to rate this one, I'm already going to give it a 9. I did not expect that, to be honest. The look of these Locomotion tables has really not been very engaging to me. I played like the deluxe, I played the remake and different things like that, but I don't know that I've ever played this one. If I did, I never spent much time on it. But I think a 9 is pretty reasonable to this. It's low scoring. But there's definitely some in-depth rule sets here, because you got some advanced specials that are going to grow. You got some additional multipliers and stuff, so I'm kind of excited by that. Pretty cool little title. Huge bonus at the end. That was kind of cool. Okay, next up, we're going to go to Locomotion 2018. Now, this is the one that I know I've played before. It's a little obscure. It's a little kind of crazy. It's incredibly busy. The biggest thing I hate about this one is how busy it is. These ramps are everywhere. I don't understand really what they were thinking with that. If they felt like that was something that needed to take place or not. Sorry, I just fixed something on the OES here. But this table is an absolute mess. It's really hard to see. There is, if you were to be able to look at this in a 3D space, like you can on the Zaccaria Steam version, you can actually see that there is kind of a raised section here, and there's a little bit of there's a section here and a section here that are raised up, and so there's shots here and here. This is a really convoluted title. I don't like the look of it. Most of this stuff I don't feel like ever really actuates, and it just really comes down to visually it's not very nice to look at. It's got some good sound effects for trains and things like that, which are cool, but it's really hard to follow with your eyes. Like I'm all for some innovation and doing something a little differently, but this one is too far, I think. It's really hard to play. Having everything be underneath is really, really tough. Like, there is orbits, there is some shots here that would be pretty cool. It still has the first, second, third, fourth station elements to it. But because of the visual style of it, I can't recommend it. I can't get into it. It's been really tough to play. So this one, I don't know. I can't spend a lot of time with it. It's so weird. And I think it could be good. There's some really cool shots on the sides here with these side flippers. But it's just a visual mess. I really can't give this one much more than a 4. Even if I wanted to do something with it, I think a 4 is kind of the best I can do. Most of these titles I generally give a 7 because they're playable and they're good, but they're not, nothing special. This one actually downgrades itself with the crazy visuals, so I'm gonna have to go with a 4 on this one. All right, next up, I think we got one more of these. We got the retro version. Yep, Locomotion Retro. So I'm not particularly looking forward to this one, but we'll see. Some of these are good, some of them aren't. We never really know, to be honest. Alright, so this one, the playfield looks pretty good, somewhat. I'm a little perplexed. It looks like these are tapering down towards the middle, but yet these don't look like they're even accessible, so I'm not really sure how that's going to fare. I don't know. Some of these are so far gone and so different that they're really hard to follow. A lot of them, really. So now I'm kind of in that loop back there, which I can't do a lot with. Little tiny flippers, which is pretty common for these retro titles. But at the least, this, you're going to get to hit the ball, which is a good thing. A lot of these are really difficult to play because they have a huge flipper gap typically between the two. This one at least has a center post and a reasonable flipper gap. Yeah, it's got a really weird layout at the bottom, but I don't think it's going to hurt the gameplay at all. I'm already thinking maybe a 7 on this one. I mean, I don't see anything that hurts it necessarily. Is it better to play than some of the other ones? I think so. There's definitely some more playability here. I think a 7 is pretty safe on this, to be honest. I don't mind that these are... It's a little weird having these not be part of the playfield. I don't understand why they wouldn't pull those out and do more with it. Maybe put a couple of elements or a drop target, maybe even a capture hole. And I'm not a huge fan of capture holes, but yeah, maybe a 7 on this one. It's not terrible, but I don't know. It's playable, and that's for the retro titles. That's about as good as you're gonna get sometimes. All right, Magic Castle. This is a solid state from 1984. So this has some vampire themes and some kind of monster type stuff.
Magic Castle.
There's quite a few of these types of titles. But Magic Castle, this one looks pretty cool. It's got a really cool, you got a red special and a really awesome back glass is pretty wild. Some digitized voice, which is always pretty nice. Very readable, rule sets and all those types of things. Get tons of multiplier options, all the way up to 80 multipliers, which is pretty cool. It does have a rescue flipper, which I think is pretty cool, like we've seen on Devil Riders. So they had a few of those here and there, but this one appears to be only actuated when it rolls over. So it's going to be literally a rescue flipper only. It's not going to be just a typical flipper. It's a little weird how it rolls down. It takes a little bit hot minute to do that. And then we get our orange special in the middle. There we go. I do like that this is broken. It's kind of a different element to it, and it's not a straight shot. So if you went down through here, you're not going to go straight down there. You have a chance to bounce that around and actually do something with it. So that's pretty cool. That ball should kick over. Here we go. Yeah, slingshots sound amazing. Drop targets are good. Drop targets up top are nice and punchy. I have to figure out this red special on the upside, but yeah, this one, this is pretty playable. Like I said, I like a lot of these solid states. There we go. So we can kind of play that a little bit. Very cool. So we got the monsters up top. You got Zaccaria, Zinkenstein, and Dr. Zenkel. So as opposed to Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and all the Frankenstein, Dracula, all that. So they got around some of the legalities to some of that, but yeah, pretty cool title. I actually really like this one. I can see myself playing this quite a bit. I would give this one an easy 8. I'd give this a 9. Let's give this a 9. I think this is even better. Ooh, that rescue flipper, that's got to be a point right there. Love that. This is a fun title. I would give this one a 9. Yeah, the more I play it, the more I like it. So, I'm really digging this one. Magic Castle, guys. This is a good table. So, anyway, if you have not played this one, definitely give it a shot. I like that one quite a bit. I never know what to get into some of these. I haven't played them in so long. Now, Magic Castle 2017, I definitely have played. So, let's give this a whirl.
Magic Castle Remake.
So obviously this is the remake of the same title, so you still got Zaccaria, Zankenstein, Dr. Zenkel, and in this case, Zalutu instead of Shalutu. I don't know how to pronounce that necessarily, but good music. I actually like the DMG animations for this one. It has like the castle kind of floating away and stuff like that. It's got kind of a dark brooding castle in the background as well as the playfield. So you got like a 3D element at the top, and then you also have it kind of in the playfield itself. It maintained that broken style, only it flipped it to the other side in this one. So that's pretty cool. Sounds like a door being rolled away, which sounds really, really good. Music's good. There's some really nice combo opportunities on this one, I know that. And as you build up your combo or your multipliers, you actually are working up towards the motion ball. Yeah, it actually shows it there, so. This is a good title. I have enjoyed this one a little bit. I'm surprised that these don't come up more on Flipper Friends. It seems like we're getting a lot of repeats in the Flipper Friends types of tournaments, whereas I think these would be better, well received, quite frankly. I think because they're so different in style and presentation. I don't think they do enough to really present that. So this is a good title. I think I'd give this one an 8 of that group. I think it's one of the better ones of the solids, or of the remakes. I think this is probably one of the better ones. some of these remakes are hit or miss. They're pretty middle of the road for the most part. They don't seem to do a lot of things to set themselves apart. And I think at least with this one, they did a little something different and added just a little bit of variety to it. Pretty cool. All right, so we'll stop there and go to the next one. So Magic Castle Retro. So you know my take on retro titles. They have to be playable. That's the number one thing. And then are they different? Are they unique? Or did they go too far? Sometimes they go too far. They start to drop pretty quickly in titles or in reviews. So, okay. So initial thoughts are okay. It's a little bit of a convoluted mess to get back to the top. They went bumper crazy on this one. Like, bumper crazy. Holy cow. So we got 9, 10, 11 bumpers on this thing. That is insane, first off. Very low scoring title. The biggest scores are hidden from the bottom. So, like, if you want to go for these hundreds, you have to get to them from the top. So, a little interesting. You can hit that 10 in the middle all day long. It's not going to give you anything. Sadly, that's not a special of any sort. Like, they could have done something there to maybe give us some more points up towards the middle. Maybe if you hit all the bumpers, or I don't know. In this style of game, it's really hard to say. I was actually able to get a shot towards the top of the table there, which was actually pretty good. Okay, so this one, because of the bumpers, it adds a little bit of a Plinko mentality to it, but it actually assists with the gameplay, bumping the ball back up to the top of the playfield, which in this case is actually for its benefit. So that's a good thing. Obviously, the rings and dings are what they are, but if you're going to play these games in this area, you know what you're getting into. Flipper control is really, really nice. Very clean. The ball is nice and big on all these retro tables. They're scaled very nicely. Really good ball movement. I think the physics are really good on most Magic Pixel titles. Are really good physics, quite frankly. And the dynamic lighting is really good too. I don't think they get enough credit for that. So, all right. So if I had to rate this one, I think I would probably give this a 7, maybe a 7.5. We'll go 7.5. I think it's better than middle of the road because of some of the things they did. It's very playable, which is really nice. We don't always see that, so I'll give this one a 7.5. I think this one's approaching a better, higher tier just because of what it is. It feels like it's could be a lot better title than it really is. Obviously, I've played this one before, but all right, Moonflight, EM from 1976. This one I like, so I'll give this one high praise. I've played this game so many times, especially recently. Really, really enjoy this title. It doesn't look like much. It looks kind of crazy. Obviously an EM title, but this one's a lot of fun. You can score a lot of extra balls on this one and really super, super playable. Good, bright, colorful, and lively. Elements are visually separated pretty well despite the colorations. You can really tell they've got black lines around these slingshots and like a black line around everything. And it just cleans the table up really nice. It really does a nice job. So, let's get into it. Not starting off all that well, but man, oh man. This title actually has some good elements to it. Oh my goodness. Wow. We are not doing good, folks. We're already on ball 3, as you can actually see on the back glass on this one. For you guys, it's a little bright. It looks like a little washed out, but it's actually right here. I don't know if you can see that. Number 3, a little washed out. I'd like to clean that up a little bit. So anyway, this one's all about the orbits. You can do orbits all day long, and then you get these. You'll actually build this score up to 100,000, and then you can start hitting specials in the middle. But lots of fun. You're gonna knock down all these rollovers. You'll go from lit up rollovers to non-lit rollovers, and that's what you want to do again and again and again. Throw this ball around the outside, and there, now I've got a special. So I want to throw it around the left orbit. I'm going to take this ball and try to get it to my right flipper. And then you want to throw this ball like that. And how satisfying is that snap sound? That sounds awesome. That is actually like an extra ball. So you get to play this game a lot. There's a lot of cool elements to it. It's super playable. You just keep going and going and going. I dig this table. I will give this one a 10. I actually really like this table. You know, it's funny, we're actually getting a Moonflight Deluxe, which we're already scheduled to get here in a couple weeks, and that looks fantastic. I played it on Steam. It's really fun. So this just kind of confirms all of that. So it's really, really cool title. I'm going to go ahead and, while I'm got you here, I am going to adjust this cam just slightly. So I want you to be able to see those types of details. And with it being this dark, you really can't do that. So let's do that. We're going to bring the exposure down just a little bit. Nope, that's the wrong one. Cancel that. Sorry about that. This cam here. I want to make sure we're seeing the elements that are important. Let's see if we can't bring that down. There we go. See, now you can see that 3. I know it's going to darken our background a little bit, but it's actually going to clean it up and actually allow you to see more of the elements. I want it to be as representative as possible of what you're going to actually see. So even if it looks a little dim on here, and it's a little more bright in person, our human eyes take in more light than cameras do in general. So for you to actually take out that detail is really, really important to that. So anyway, getting too technical, but Moonflight, definitely a 10. That's a great title. Mystic Star. So this is the 86 solid state with a fantasy theme, and we'll jump into this one.
Mystic Star.
Mystic Star. All right. Let's go. So this one, cool graphics, I gotta say. Specials all over the place. Really wild style. The wizard looks like he's holding a huge lollipop, which is very strange. Pretty muted sound effects on this one. I think this one really could have been spruced up a little bit if it had maybe some digitized speech or something like that. And I always hate when they have to go back down to the plunge lane. I know it's a feature of some titles, but bumpers sound pretty good. But this one's just never really enthused me. It looks really, really cool, and I get excited to play it because it looks really cool. And then I start to play it, and I get bored really quickly on this one. So in general, I think I would give this one maybe a 5. It's not captivating to me. It's got some timed elements that you have to deal with there that you kind of heard, but really doesn't really pull you in. And that's the real thing about some of these tables. They really have to have kind of something to pull you in, right? They need a stick or something like that to really pull you in and make you feel like you're getting your value for some of these, the time that you're putting in. So yeah, I'll give that one a 5. Really not too engaging. It's a playable title, but it's just not there. It's a Mystic Star Retro. This is the retro version of that same table we just played. And again,
Mystic Star.
Is it playable?
Retro.
Does it sound... I mean, they're all going to sound good. You know. Okay, so this one, again, looks fantastic. Whether or not it plays good or not, you know. Again, I know I've played this table before, but man, when you don't come back to these tables for 2-3 years, you're not going to remember a lot of the stuff about them. It has some capture holes right in the middle. That's probably going to slow it down. This center post being right in front of an outlane is a little strange because you're not going to get any additional points going out that center outlane. I don't know if they were trying to go with a particular theme with the 2-1-3 as opposed to 1-2-3. It doesn't really say. I don't know. Some of these they're just not engaging. And you know, this one doesn't have a Mystic Star, doesn't give you much of a theme to go by. I mean, you have the general idea of a wizard, but you don't know what about it. I don't know. Again, I'm not a big fan of capture holes being right smack dab in the middle. It feels like they're constantly slowing down gameplay. I would give this one a 5. The slingshots being in the bottom just feels like it takes away from your gameplay. You know, when you have slingshots that are keep bouncing it back into the center just to keep the game going. Like, I would rather have those tapered down and give me the option to use the flippers and actually propel and take shots. So I would give this one a 5. All right. Next up, Red Show. So this is Red Show. This is an EM table from 1975. They actually did a deluxe table of this, which is actually pretty darn good. We'll actually cover that at some point in the near future when we do the deluxe packs 11 and 12. So this is the classic version of that. So this is based on basically 70s girl bands, if you will, rocking out, and pretty cool theme. Gotta love that. It's a drop target extraordinaire type of game. And being that this does not have a retro table, and some of those is kind of interesting. So I believe they actually came out with it. Yes, they did, now that I think about it. Zaccaria on Steam actually has a Red Show retro version. So they've been kind of refreshing some of these IPs with additional tables. So, but this one in general, I've really kind of appreciated. I've played this game quite a bit. It's not near as good as like a Top Hand or maybe a Granada or something like that, but I think this one's pretty good. I would definitely give this one an 8. It is a bit of a shooter's table. Some of the shots are a little tough to get. You have to backhand some shots, which actually is good. I don't mind forcing me to take some difficult shots. I actually appreciate that. So when you've got this ball on a flipper, if I can ever get up to one, some of these shots, like the shot from here to this upper side, is really in these drop targets in the middle are in the way, so you really can't take that shot. So you have to do a dead flip, get it over to the right, and then hope you can maybe do a backhand shot to get some of those shots. Otherwise, you're going to have to rely on the bumper to do some of the caroms. So it adds a little bit of variety, but it takes away from the shooter's mentality, which I really like. I do like the fan layout. So this is all about the flippers, which is exactly what I didn't get out of the last one. So again, really like this table. I would definitely give this one an 8. Pretty solid table altogether. All right. And lastly, we're going to cover Zombie. This is one of the word tables based in the 1970s type of game. Some of these are good, some of them aren't. So, Zombie. Let's talk about this one. Okay. So, first of all, the art style is all over the place here. The fact that it has 4 flippers and some really locked-in rails really, I think, pull it down a little bit. It does have some cooler elements where they have some targets that drop up, and then 5. There's actually 5 of those red targets that pop up over the course of the table. And you do actually go underneath some elements on the top, which is pretty cool. So, the huge bumpers that just say 1,000 points just are weird. I don't understand why they did that. With a zombie theme, you think it's a layup. You just go for something dark and gloomy and lots of blood. Green's a good choice. Green and red's a good choice. The yellows, yeah, okay. I don't mind it. Straight into a multi-ball, super easy. Just kind of like Wizard in that way. I know if you've been watching the series, you've already seen the Wizard get you into multi-ball all the time. Anytime I take that shot to this far left or this far right shot, I can get into a multi-ball mode. Just missed it there. This is a strange element that you never see. This type of flipping thing, I'm not really sure what they're going on with that. there's some fun to be had here. I think this one's a 7 just because it's a little unique. It's a little different. But I don't know that it plays particularly well, to be honest. Even some of the odds might be a little scary to the kids. Then this is what these games, these award tables generally are going to appeal to the kids more in general, I think, because they're more simplistic. And this one, I think, kind of goes away from that. So while it is I want to give it something like an 8. I just feel like a 7 is probably the best I can do. But it's certainly playable. It's got some weird elements to it, though. And I know if somebody else were to watch this video, they might go, "What? This table's absolute trash. Why did you give it more than a 4 or 5?" I don't see anything necessarily wrong with it. It plays really well. It's just got some strange elements to it. So, and that's what we're really looking at, is what things stick out, what things make it playable, what makes it bring you back. So, at any rate, yeah, I'd give this one a 7. It's the best I can do. I know it's not a negotiation. This is my opinion, but I don't have any problem playing this table. I think it's good enough to play. I just, of the award tables, there are definitely better ones. There's Speed Kings, which is really good. There's Wizard, that's really good. There's some really good award tables, and that's just not one of the best. Okay, so for all of Zaccaria Pack 7, what do we think for a rating? Well, this one's an interesting one because there's really only three good titles here. So to me, Magic Castle, Moonflight obviously is the best one here. That's if you don't like Moonflight, you don't like that solid state game, why are you buying this pack? That's the first question I would ask you. If you don't like older titles in general, you're not going to like this pack. There is some good tables. If you like solid states, okay. If you like solid states, then you're going to pick up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tables. This is actually an EM, but you get the idea. And then Zombies kind of a throw-in. So overall, I think this pack is maybe a middle of the road. I would maybe give this pack a 6, just because there's not enough value here to justify the $35 on a 4K and a $25 fee on the HD. And those prices might be even going up as well. Moonflight's a great table, but man, I can't justify playing all these other tables just to get to Moonflight. So you might be better off skipping all of these, getting Moonflight Deluxe, and calling it a day. This one, sadly, is going to be isolated to this series, or to this pack, and it really doesn't do it justice, because Moonflight is a really fun table. And again, I know it's a really basic table. Why do I like it so much? I don't know. There's just something about it, that satisfying pop or snap when you get that extra ball. It seems to do it a lot. It makes it very playable. So, at any rate, that is my ratings for Zaccaria Pack 7. I hope you appreciated this review, and we will see you on the leaderboards, guys.